which is the national language. Hello everyone, and we wish you a very warm welcome. Nous sommes en Belgique, bien sûr, vous le saviez. Le circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, vous le saviez. Et vous le savez, on est là pour les 100 ans. 100 years of Spa 24 hours, the CrowdStrike 24 hours of Spa. It's a huge event. A very huge event. You have seen it already and you will see it. Et pour nous parler de cet événement, on va accueillir le général manager des CrowdStrike 24 heures de Spa, Laurent Gaudin.
Bonjour Thomas, bonjour à tous. Bienvenue
Bonjour.
Ici en Belgique sur le circuit de Spa-Francorchamps pour le centenaire.
En néerlandais, vous le faites aussi, goedemiddag.
Non, pas là.
Merci d'être là. Quel événement, on l'a dit, on l'a vu déjà, Laurent, avec notamment un dispositif exceptionnel, que ce soit sur le site, que ce soit pour ceux qui ne seront pas avec nous. Et on nous suit, on salue d'ailleurs tous ceux qui nous suivent sur YouTube. So hello to all the YouTube fans as well for this press conference. Un dispositif en YouTube et en TV notamment.
Oui, on ne va pas détailler tout ce qu'on a fait parce que la liste serait trop longue avec la task force des SRO, mais on va prendre quelques exemples et par exemple, effectivement, la diffusion télévision. Donc les chiffres sont assez astronomiques cette année. On a particulièrement investi, donc par exemple, il y aura 100 personnes, il y aura 36 caméras. Il y aura 153 pays dans lesquels on recevra l'émission, il y aura plus de 50 heures de direct, 60 chaînes, et nous avons, c'est assez exceptionnel, cette année, on rediffusera tout cela en français, en anglais, en néerlandais, en italien, en allemand, en portugais, en japonais et en chinois.
Wow! I think you all understood. We will have plenty of languages indeed.
Dans le même domaine, il faut souligner aussi, c'est assez exceptionnel, que nous sommes désormais l'un des événements majeurs de YouTube, puisque au niveau des flux, puisque nous sommes l'un des grands événements qui restent gratuits, question de proximité avec nos fans. Donc nous sommes pratiquement le 2e ou 3e événement mondial sur YouTube.
Oui, ce qui est très impressionnant, évidemment. Alors YouTube, ça, ce seront pour ceux qui n'ont pas la chance d'être sur place. Ceux qui viennent ici sur le circuit de Spa-Francorchamps vont pouvoir aussi avoir un accueil qui, depuis le travail effectivement effectué depuis un an, l'objectif, c'est de mieux accueillir encore les fans, de leur proposer plus.
Oui, c'était l'occasion ou jamais. Un centenaire, c'est pas tous les jours.
Par définition.
Donc nous avons travaillé, comme vous le savez, depuis le mois de mars avec la fameuse conférence de presse à Stavelot, où on avait développé 24 points. Les 24 points sont atteints. Alors il y a beaucoup de chiffres là encore, mais on ne va pas tout donner. Disons qu'il y a 41 points de restauration, il y a 14 tribunes construites spécifiquement, il y a 5 campings, on reparlera des campings un tout petit peu après. Il y a beaucoup de choses, il y a 14 écrans, je l'ai dit, 14 tribunes, il y a beaucoup de courses, il y a plus de 200 voitures de course.
Des concerts, plus de concerts aussi, plus de musique.
Il y a 3 concerts, effectivement, par exemple. Le premier a eu lieu hier soir dans le paddock jaune, il y en aura un deuxième ce soir dans le jaune, et puis le fameux grand concert de samedi avec Robin Schulz.
Et des milliers de places de parking qui ont dû être prévues pour accueillir des spectateurs en masse. Alors justement, le public a déjà répondu présent. On l'a vu hier, il y a un enthousiasme qui est bien là. Il y avait plus de monde hier dans le paddock déjà.
L'objectif étant le centenaire n'est qu'une porte. Nous entrons dans un nouvel ère. L'objectif, c'est d'aller beaucoup plus loin, et ce, tous les ans, en amenant des suppléments à ce qu'on fait déjà. C'est une base. On ira plus loin, et l'objectif, c'est de conserver les gens pendant une semaine avec nous, d'où le développement de toutes les structures réceptives, en règle générale, pour que les clients restent avec nous. Pour l'instant, ça se passe très bien. Les préventes, pas les ventes directement, mais les préventes sont excellentes, puisqu'on est à plus 25% de préventes hier matin. Et nous avons, effectivement, là encore, on a une augmentation de 25% de l'affluence du jeudi.
Oui, ce qui est vraiment pas mal. On était 83 000 spectateurs en 2023, c'est un record, on peut espérer le battre?
Alors, j'aime pas faire de pronostics, mais oui, on va le battre.
Voilà, on en est ravis effectivement. Merci Laurent Gaudin.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci à tous.
Thanks Laurent Gaudin, General Manager of the CrowdStrike 24 of Spa, of course, and since 2023, indeed, we are talking about the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa. CrowdStrike is the title sponsor. Let's welcome the President, Founder and CEO of CrowdStrike, Mr. George Kurtz.
All right. Hello. All right. So first, a big thank you, and it's always a pleasure to be here. It's an action-packed filled room. A few thanks. Start with thanking Stephane for organizing just an amazing race. We're so proud to be the title sponsor for the 100th anniversary. Greg Gill out of the U.S. and the entire U.S. team that takes good care of us and allows us to come over here and have some fun in Europe. And I have to say there's a big thanks to whoever decided to actually repave the track. I think every driver wants to hug you because the track is amazing this year. You see it in the times. And I think the only request is maybe we can get turns 10 through 13 repaved next year. We'll put that on the list. But other than that, when we think about speed, obviously the highest form of GT racing at the 24 Hours of Spa, it is all about speed. It's all about the driving. It's all about managing risk and getting through 24 hours, which is not always an easy thing to do. And part of what CrowdStrike has been able to do, as well as being the title sponsor, is security is about speed. It's about understanding risk. It's about managing risk. And it's about safety. And of course, in motorsports, you want to keep everyone safe. And it's the same in cybersecurity. I think we all see what's happening in the world today. So it's been a great partnership with SRO, and certainly couldn't be prouder to be, as I said, the title sponsor here. And I wish everyone, all the racers, all the teams, the very best luck to be safe. And we look forward to a fantastic 100-year anniversary. I hope I get one of those posters with my car on it. And other than that, I think I will turn it back over and just thank everyone and have a great weekend and a great event. Thanks so much.
George. Thank you, George. Indeed, 100 years of history here in endurance racing, in 24-hour racing in Spa-Francorchamps, but, and it's a great number, isn't it, the 24th edition for GT cars only, thanks to Stephane Ratel, thanks to SRO Motorsports Group. Of course, it all started in 2001. Stephane Ratel, founder and CEO of SRO Motorsports Group. For its annual press conference. It's a very good habit to be here. C'est une très bonne habitude, Stéphane. Merci beaucoup pour la 24e édition GT. On continue pour la conférence. Merci, Stéphane.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here with you today for this 100th anniversary. And as I mentioned during the driver briefing, I see 3 anniversaries. I see the 100th, and I see also the important 60th anniversary when these cars were relaunched by Paul Frère and we're introducing this new trophy. Paul Frère liked the event to be very Belgium, and it was very Belgium for many years. And we wanted to award a prize for the best Belgian driver finishing the race overall, and this new trophy will be introduced. It's also a very important milestone because it's 30 years of GT racing. I celebrated my personal 30 years in motorsport 2 years ago, but it really all started with the BPR series exactly 30 years ago. And I can't thank my friend, ex-BPR partner, and today the organizer with Peter Otto of this amazing race of not only the touring cars that made Spa for so many years, but also with these GT cars. And for me, it's very moving to go and see finding old friends, not the drivers, but the cars. I mean, some of the drivers, but mostly the cars that I've been hanging with for years at a time where we didn't have 16 championship and series like today, but 1 or 2. And it's very, very great to see this car back on track. So let's now talk about the present and the future. And the future is definitely an important part, which is sustainability. I know it's sometimes very much talked about, sometimes less, but we at SRO, we really, really want to be sustainable, not only because we believe in it for the future of our planet, but also for our business. And very recently, I was negotiating for the return of an important event in our championship. And the first question I was asked is, what is your sustainability, what is our environmental footprint? So we know it's good for the business and it's good for the environment. You can read what we're doing, and at Misano we had this workshop with the teams, asking them, all the team, to assess their carbon footprint. Like this, we can compensate. 4 years ago, we had this objective to be 100% carbon neutral. I know offset is not the most politically, people will tell you, offset, but we really do it. All the teams are covering with we're going to call it a carbon tax. We reinvested all of this. We also make an important contribution and in reforestation, in carbon captures and all of this. And we really do the work. And also, but that's only the tip of the iceberg, is what fuel do we use? And this year, we're very glad to have introduced in Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe and Asia, the 100% sustainable fuel. And I would like to call Bernadette Spinois from Total Energy. We are now again powered by Total Energy. Bernadette.
Thank you, Stephane. I'm delighted to be here as well. You mentioned 3 anniversary. I think I see 3 other anniversary. First of all, of course, the 100 year of the 24 of Spa. Also the 100 year of Total Energy and the 30 years of our partnership. So I think we can applaud that as well. Exactly. And I am also delighted to say that for the 100th anniversary of this Spa, we are presenting our competition fuel, Excellium Racing 100. For the first time in this race, the competitor will use a non-fossil fuel made from waste and residue from wine growing. Can you believe that? So voilà, that's it. And I wish everybody a good 24 hours. I will not make it long. I think it was the most important. Thank you, Stephane.
Thank you, Bernadette. And when we talk about sustainability, and you're going to sing and talk about it each year, and it's never going to happen, but we keep on working on our GT Experimental World Tour. We are in conversation with many manufacturers. 2 of them today are actively working on the cars, and our objective continue to be to bring minimum 3, ideally 4 manufacturers to start with the Targa Florio. Target is 2026. John Maria Dolci, I salute, is still fully in charge of it, the manager of the GTX project. Bernard Niclot is working on the technical side, and we continue pushing for it, and it's not something we will abandon. Look at our global activities. The next big event after this one, very big for SRO, will be our FIA Motorsport game, the Race of Nation, which will be in Valencia on the 23rd, 27th of October. It will be the 3rd edition of the games. The first one was in Rome with 6 categories. The second one was in Marseille with 16 categories. And the 3rd one is in Valencia with an amazing 28 categories. About every motorsport discipline is there, and we are looking to welcome many, many different nations for an amazing event. We don't stop at 26. We are very actively working for the next edition at 24. I mean, we're very actively working for 26 with an extra challenge. We've done 3 editions in Europe, and we really would like to get away, outside of an overseas event. It's a big challenge, but we're working very, very hard on it. Other of our global activity is the Intercontinental GT Challenge. We had 5 events for quite a while. Then we returned to 4 events, and last year we announced the introduction of the great 24 hours Nürburgring into a GTC. And I'm very delighted to announce that, subject to contract finalization, but we will be returning to Suzuka for the 1,000-kilometer race. The Suzuka 1,000 kilometers is one of the biggest endurance races in the world, because it has stopped for some years, and it was run for a couple of years before COVID as a 10 hours. We are taking it back, and the promotion of it. We have grown Asia, and Benjamin will present that later. We have grown Asia with many, many GT3 competitors, many teams, and we believe now we have the local strengths to relaunch the 1,000 kilometers of Suzuka with a format of 6 hours, which for teams which are mainly not used to endurance, it will be easier for them. And we have a reasonable target of about 25 cars, which we hope with a good number of manufacturers for the return of this amazing event. So here is the calendar. You can see it yourself. It will be the Suzuka 1,000 kilometer will be in September. We're waiting to finalize the date, but we are very happy with this appealing calendar going to Australia, Germany, Belgium, Japan, and finishing with our traditional Indianapolis 8 hours presented by AWS. Now we're going to review our many European activities. Of course, the Fanatec GT World Challenge, powered by AWS, a traditional calendar, if I could say, returning to Zandvoort and to Valencia that we have dropped this year. You can see the date, and I'm sure you can take pictures if you can't wait for the release. The last event remained TBC for the moment because with our Saudi friends, we have decided to assess both with the teams, because we always say we are the coordinators of our teams, and the success of this year's event in Jeddah before decided jointly if we are returning for the year after. We believe we will be returning because we believe it will be a big success, but it's good that we run this one first before decided for the next year. So it's why we booked 2 dates, one in Europe and one that would be the event in Jeddah should we be returning. And to talk a bit more about Fanatec GT World Challenge powered by AWS, I will ask CJ Moses to join us on stage.
Hello, hello. For those of you that don't know who AWS is, you see the logo and I'm sure you figure it's Amazon, and you're correct. We're the largest and most secure cloud provider in the world. And that, sets us up well to be the global technology provider also for SRO. And I'd be remiss if I got up here and didn't talk about generative AI or AI in general. And that's one of the things that we look forward to bringing into and providing in a partnership with SRO globally to all of the competitors as well as to all of the viewers. So it's been a wonderful partnership to this point, and that's one of the things that I think that we really want to continue going forward. And we have plans to work together towards a partnership that goes on for many years into the future. I just want to thank all of you for all of the great work that you've done and look forward to many more.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
Another very important partnership for us. Next to GT3, which continues to be booming, despite, I have to say, the raising cost, and I'm always a bit cautious and say no trees goes up to the sky, is to be noted that this year we had 70 paid entries, and we lost one car because Sarah Bovey had a nasty accident in Watkins Glen, and we wish her a total quick recovery. But also 3 cars were entered, and somehow the driver and the budget were not there. It's a first. So we hope that it's going to continue remaining at that strength. But I always encourage the team, the manufacturers, and all the actors involved to try to keep cost under control. Our other major success is GT4. I think 56, 57 cars here this weekend. It's just unbelievable for a sprint race. GT4 also, I have to say, the costs are rising, but it's still an amazing success, a global success with many series around the world. And we're very pleased to present this traditional, I would say, but a very good calendar going to France, going back to Zandvoort. It's been a while since GT4 has been in Zandvoort. Of course, going to the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa, going to the Nürburgring, to Barcelona, and should we return to Jeddah, of course, going back with us to Jeddah, and to speak about the GT4 European Series powered by Rafa Racing Club. I will call Rafael to come and join us. Rafa, where are you?
Thank you. Pleased to be here. Our second year presenting GT4. This year, like last year, we actually have the pleasure of joining the grid with 2 entries, and it's been an absolute blast. For me, being new to racing in the last, just learning that I could actually do it in the last 2 or 3 years, and jumping into the deep end, it's been pretty impressive, just the amount of talent and how deep the field is, and seeing how big the field is compared to some of the other fields is pretty impressive to the SRO and the ability to gather these many people in one place. Obviously competing the way that we are, and for us, myself being new to the sport, learning about racing and the fact that I could actually do it, gave me a business idea of starting a club that actually did that for people. So we're building an infrastructure around driver development, community, and being able to tell all of people's stories through content. So we've signed some drivers, we've signed a pretty big team, and now we have a sim racing platform, esports platform, and obviously the driver development going from track days all the way to GT racing, and hopefully being the 24-hour spa here in the next few years, maybe less than a few years. Hopefully I can get up to speed. But yeah, really pleased and happy to be part of the program, and yeah, I think we were all excited to be here.
Thank you, Rafael. And it's a real perfect partnership because it's what GT4 is all about. It's the first step in the world of GT racing. You start with GT4. Hopefully you come up to GT3. And when you want to relax a little bit, you come to GT2, which is our next one, the Fanatec GT2 European Series. We're pleased there again, and we're very pleased because for the first time we had 20 entries for this event, but with this clientele, sometime one has a meeting, one has something, and we came down a bit from this 20 grid entry, but thanks to the success of the new Maserati MC20, of the Mercedes, we start having more and more cars, and we are confident the category will continue to grow. You can see the calendar. It's traditional. The only difference is that the GT2 will go next year to the Speed Week instead of to the 24 hours. All the other events will be together with Fanatec GT World Challenge powered by AWS. Another of SRO's strong and enduring success is the British GT Championship, which is simply running at full speed, which is oversubscribed, which has grids. I mean, even for the 500, the Silverstone 500, we have 40 some cars, 43, 44 cars. It's a very, very successful series. We had a request from the teams. Woolton Park has been a little bit complicated this year, to say the least, because the weather at Easter is not always the best. The circuit is quite narrow, and we had a strong push from the team not to start at Woolton Park. So here is the result of it. We always listen to our team, and there is no doubt that British GT will continue with its current success. Another of our oldest championship, this was in fact the second one after FIA GT, the French FFSA GT4 Championship, has suffered a little bit this season with 22, 23 cars when we had traditionally over 30 cars. But we are our own competitor because the GT4 European Series powered by Rafa Racing Club is so successful that it drags a lot of drivers away from France to come to Europe. But we're going to work hard to maintain our French series at least at its current level. Another surprise, or maybe it's also a question of budget. When I was telling you GT4 is getting a bit expensive, maybe on some local market. So they all went to the French TC Championship, which last weekend here had something like 59 cars. It's absolutely booming. So this touring car series, I mean, I have to thank Laurent Gaudin, because it's after visiting an event in America where he said, TC, we knew nothing about TC at SRO. It was something we discovered when acquiring the, by then, Pirelli World Challenge in America. Laurent wanted to bring it to Europe, and now the grade is lower in America, but it's absolutely huge in Europe. And speaking about America, we want to make a change to this usual presentation, because usually I do pretty much one-man show. But SRO Motorsports Group today is much more than Stephane Ratel, and I will want the CEOs, President, CEO, General Manager of each continent to come here and speak about the series they manage every day and all along the year. So I will call Greg Gill, President and CEO of SRO Motorsport America, to join me on stage to present the American activity, and then he will pass it on to Benjamin to present Asia, and then to Ben to present Australia. Thank you, Greg. I leave you the floor.
Thank you very much, Stephane. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It is such a distinct honor. I'm hoping I can get the clicker back, though, because otherwise we'll be stuck looking at me.
Good point. You know, I'm too much used to the one-man show.
So my first time holding this, I'm very excited. We're going to see this real quick. Okay, that's going to tell us that. We can see where the calendar and schedule is going for us in North America. We've had tremendous success, and we've seen some great growth. A lot of this came from, Stephane mentioned the idea about budgets. As we go into the new year, we'll be meeting with our teams at VIR and discussing ways that we believe we can see continued success, but also making things more cost-effective for our teams and drivers. That's what we're about. That's where we grow on. I also think it is about partnerships, as we talked about the tremendous partnership with Pirelli, AWS, and CrowdStrike. Another partnership that we saw, it's about people, and people who see the North American market and then recognize how that can grow into a global market as part of global companies. That's what we see. In 2018, Anthony Comas invited us to, Stacy, Robbie, and myself, to come to the 24 Hours of Spa. We were blown away. We immediately said, we have to get companies to come and join us so they can see this, both teams and drivers. We've worked on that. We've seen the growth. A new one that has been able to join us now in the same way, a European company. We have had the opportunity to invite Alexandra Coleman up to tell you a little bit about that growth from first in North America, now to the world. Alexandra, could you join us?
Thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a great pleasure to join you here, and also welcome from my side to Spa. My name is Alexandra Kohlmann. I'm the managing partner of ROWE Motor Oil and also co-owner of our racing team, ROWE Racing. Yeah, as some of you might not know, but we are a family-run business. So my father founded the company almost 30 years ago. And we manufacture a comprehensive range of engine oils, transmission oils, but also we are in the industrial sector, so also metalworking fluids, biolubricants, all that stuff belongs to our product portfolio. And as you might know, since last year, we have become proud partner, and we are the official lubricant of the Fanatec International GT World Challenge America, powered by HWS. You see, I've practiced a lot. And from the beginning of this year, we have also become the official lubricant of the Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe and Asia, also powered by HWS. I like that, powered by. Okay, so we are really, really thrilled to collaborate so closely with you, with the SRO, and to reaffirm our joint commitment to global motorsports from now and also in the future. And yeah, Stephane, you talked a little bit about sustainability in the beginning, and I think this is a topic that really drives both the SRO and also ROWE a lot. So as I said, we founded ROWE Racing more than 10 years ago, and we always call it our driving laboratory. So we really test our high-performance lubricants in our racing cars here on the racetrack under the most difficult conditions. And yeah, so since we founded it, and since then our racing cars have been powered by sustainable lubricants. And I think our achievements can really serve as evidence of the exceptional quality also and the high performance of our products, because as you also might know, we have already won this race 3 times. It was in 16 and 20 and in 23. So of course we are really excited. I'm really excited for the race, and we are aiming high again this year, I guess. So maybe we are able to bring home the victory again. So fingers crossed for the team, but also fingers crossed for all the other teams. Have a safe and a successful race. I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I would like to thank you for the attention, and yeah, wishing you a great weekend ahead. Thanks.
Thank you, Alessandra. We appreciate it. Moving forward in North America, we talk about Pirelli GT4. This has been, as they noted, a great success in GT4. We saw some growth in it. It was a class that we once called GTS. We've seen that type of success. We're going to continue with it. I don't believe we'll see any changes really for our 2025 season. GT America, this was something that really was speaking to the homage to the classic World Challenge with single driver formats. We're going to see some growth and some new things that we'll be doing in there. We'll discuss it with our teams at VIR, but this is something that is a great opportunity. Stephane's touched on a little bit of where we were at with our TC America powered by Skip Barber. And you will notice in America, we are about commercial. Every one of our series has a sponsor. So if any of you are missing anything, please come see Robbie afterwards. But it is something that we will continue to see growth with the TC class, but I think things that will speak to the North American market and how can address that. So we're looking forward to it. It is my great pleasure now to turn the microphone over to Benjamin and talk about our Asian activities.
Thank you, Greg. It's a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. Fanatec Asia. Fanatec Asia was launched in 2017, and it started on a high note. We had 30 cars from the beginning, and it was a great success for 3 years. And then suddenly we stopped. No more racing. Impossible to get going in Asia. You couldn't travel. Customers couldn't go anywhere. A total full stop. But in 2022, we decided to go for it. No one else in Asia was racing, and we relaunched. It was difficult, extremely difficult. And we started in Sepang with 8 cars, and we had to convince everyone around Asia to come back to racing, which was a difficult task. And today, I'm happy to say that Fanatec Asia, with our new series, Japan Cup, has reached full capacity. Before I reveal to you our plans for next year, last weekend we had in Fuji 49 racing cars. This was the biggest gathering of GT cars ever in Asia, and we've reached that milestone just a week ago. We had 41 GT3 cars and 7 GT4 cars, which we were very pleased to. I'm catching a flight this weekend because we have a race in Suzuka, and there we have 47 cars in total. So the championship is very healthy. Japan Cup was launched this year because Fanatec was so busy. We had to make sure we had a grid, a platform for our Japanese customers. And this started very well also with 16 cars. So we're extremely excited and happy. Moving forward, I'm going to have to use this one for the first time. Moving forward, I'll be explaining our plans, our provisional plans for next year. And they're exciting. We got 2 new projects, and one of them is going to Indonesia. This is a new country for us. I've been working with the CEO of Mandalika for 2 years to get this off the ground. I've been there a few times. It's next to Bali. It's in paradise. So this, you can have a look at Mandalika. It's an amazing track in paradise, 2 hours away from Bali by boat. I've been there a few times, and I'm convinced and sure that our customers, our partners and drivers will love racing there. So we'll be going there in May, and let me reveal to you our calendar, which is provisional, but it's looking very good already. We'll be starting in our classic Sepang event, where teams go testing in the winter, what is winter in Asia, which is still very warm. Then we go to Mandalika in May. We expect strong grids for this event and the whole season. By the way, Fanatec Asia is at capacity this season, and we expect the same next year. Then we go back to Thailand, a popular event. Then we do our Japanese tour, Fuji, and then to be announced event in August. And then we'll be finishing in China, where we have a lot of teams, customers racing with us, and we'll be announcing further news about this event in the coming weeks. So I mentioned Japan Cup. This was, we launched it because we had too much demand, and there's a lot of interest in Japan. We have a lot of customers. They have cars, they have racetracks, they have history. And we launched this year, and it's an exciting, fun environment for our clients to race. It's also a place for GT4 cars to race with us in Asia, since Fanatec this year is only racing GT3 cars. When we're not busy running Fanatec and Japan Cup, we do other things in... I'm going the wrong way here. Anyways, I'm not very good at this. When we're not racing with Fanatec Asia and Japan Cup, we're also organizing other events. One of them is in November with the Macau event. This is a very exciting classic race in the streets of Macau. And again, we expect to be at full capacity for this edition. And last but not least, one series which SRO is involved with is the Asian Le Mans series. This will be racing once again in Sepang in Asia. Our main task from my side at SRO Asia is to bring Chinese, Asian customers and Asian teams. This is what our task is, and this is going to be growing more and more in the future, and we'll be racing more and more in Asia. So please have a look at this event later in the season. That's it for me. I'm not on stage often, and I look forward to watching the 24 Hours of Spa. Thank you very much. Over to Ben.
Thank you, Benjamin. For us, 2024 has been the inaugural season for SRO Motorsports Australia. So far, we have done 2 of our 6 rounds. We've had a great start with Fanatec GT World Challenge Australia with strong grids so far. As we're in the growth phase, we're expecting these grids to grow throughout the remainder of 2024 and into 2025. This brings me on to our 2025 calendars. We are very excited to announce our Fanatec GT World Challenge Australia powered by AWS calendar. As you can see, we're officially launching in 2025 with an official media and test day at Phillip Island in March. We then move on to round 1 at Phillip Island in April, round 2 with Sydney in May. You'll see on the screen there that currently our 3rd round has a TBC next to the location. This will be announced in due course. We then move on to round 4 in Queensland. This will be at the start of August. Tailem Bend in September. And then we're very excited to announce that we'll be branching out and racing over in New Zealand for our finale in 2025. This is very exciting for us. We have a number of Kiwi drivers participating in the series this year, and we are looking to expand on this into 2025. We're also very pleased to announce, as part of this, all full season Fanatec GT World Challenge Australia powered by AWS series entries will receive a substantial travel rebate to assist with the costs incurred with the additional logistics racing overseas. This brings me on to Monochrome GT4 Australia. This is the first year of Monochrome GT4 within Australia. We've had a fantastic launch with 18 cars at the first 2 rounds across 6 different manufacturers. Once again, like Fanatec GT World Challenge Australia powered by AWS, we're in the growth phase, so we expect this to grow throughout the remainder of 2024 and into 2025. We have some more manufacturers and cars coming online as they arrive throughout the year. As you've also probably noticed on the screen, the calendar for Fanatec GT World Challenge Australia powered by AWS and Monochrome GT4 are exactly the same, and therefore that means that all series entries in Monochrome GT4 will receive the same significant travel rebate available to make the effort over to New Zealand with the additional costs of logistics. And that is everything for our SRO Motorsports Australia 2025 calendars, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Benjamin. And thank you, Greg. It gives a very male appearance of SRO, which is not correct because the company is run by many ladies. We have a lot of females at SRO. And I want to salute Patricia. It's been 30 years we've been working together. 30, first together indirectly with the BPR series. and then with directly with SRO. Is the longest marriage I ever had. And I hope it will last for many, many more years. And also our CFO is with Bernadette, with Jackie, with Juliet, with many of the key positions at SRO are with women. And I want to thank everyone, all of my team, for their fantastic work, especially for these 10 days, because we started with a speed week. So everybody's been here for 10, 12 days. And importantly also to thank you all. None of this would be possible on 4 continents without the trust of the drivers, the trust of the team, the trust of the manufacturers, and the trust of our partners. None of this would be possible, and even broadcasters and all the rest of it. So thank you very, very much. And I wish you a fantastic weekend with a lot of success and no BOP talks. Thank you very much.